Guys, we're continuing our Big 12 Media Day coverage presented by Circa. We're here now with Stewart Mandel of The Athletic. Stu, we appreciate you taking some time out of your day to talk to us today.
No problem. My pleasure.
Last time we talked to you, about a year ago, around this time, right? Pac-12 was still together.
Yeah.
For you, what has changed over the last 365 days, at least in your view, of the Big 12, the Pac-12, and just college football in general?
We've never seen this much change at once. I mean, I'm really excited for this season because of the 12-team playoff, because of games like Texas, Georgia, and USC, Michigan, right? Games that are a direct result of the realignment. But there's been some collateral damage, and I think it's, Washington State and Oregon State are going to have an event here tomorrow night by themselves. Cal and Stanford and SMU in the ACC is going to take some getting used to. I feel like almost because the four corners was talked about for so long that doesn't feel quite as jarring. But obviously, I don't think anybody wanted the Pac-12 to die, and for that to be the reason why the Big 12 now has 16 teams.
You mentioned the four corner schools, Arizona State, Arizona, Utah, Colorado. Just what are your early impressions of those four schools now joining the Big 12 on a football scale?
They're all kind of entering at a different stage, right? I mean, Utah's been established for a long, long time. I think they were picked to, first in the conference. Arizona, had a great season last year, and many people expect them to continue that this year, but obviously that's very recent. We all know what's going on with Colorado. And then ASU is the wild card to me. Like, we just don't know much about them still going into Kenny Dillingham's second season.
Yeah. What did you make of the first year of the Kenny Dillingham era? Obviously, as people that covered that school, it was, just riddled with injuries. It was just a weird season. But what was the national perspective of Arizona State?
Honestly, I don't think they made much of a noise nationally, right? Because they didn't have a great season. But that one game where they ran the single wing or whatever it was, like, it didn't get any attention at the time because why was anybody following that game? But looking back at it now, it's like, man, that was one of the craziest, most impressive coaching jobs anybody did in a game last season. And so if I'm an ASU fan, like, that alone would give me confidence that, okay, maybe we hired the right guy, because that was who pulls that off? That was amazing.
A swinging gate to beat UCLA. Ultimately cost, Chip Kelly's at Ohio State now, all because of Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State. In terms of the Arizona Wildcats, obviously a loaded roster on that return with Noah Fafita, T-Mac. What kind of pressure do you think is on Brent Brennan to succeed in year one with that level of talent on the roster?
I wouldn't put it as pressure, but needless to say, expectations haven't been this high for an Arizona football season in a long, long time. And so because of that, like most coaches when they come in, it's rebuilding, Rajat. That's what it was for Kenny Dillingham. Like, the hope, the confidence there is that they'll come in and have a great season right away. So if they were to go like 7-5, I think the fans there would be really disappointed that they weren't able to continue the momentum that Jed Fish built there.
Colorado, everybody's talking about them, same as last year. What are your expectations for that team?
I expect them to be better, but I don't know how much better, right? Just like last year, there's so much change on that roster. They're relying so much on a freshman offensive lineman. But, they've got two of the biggest stars in the sport, Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. So I think it'll be really fun to watch again. I just don't know where it's going to end up.
Who do you think is the surprise, the shocker team in the Big 12 this season, or at least has the potential to be that?
I don't know if it's a shocker, but I think Iowa State is everybody's sleeping on them. It wasn't that long ago that they were in the Fiesta Bowl, that they had Brock Purdy and Breece Hall. And this is a very experienced team he has coming back, Matt Campbell. I would absolutely, if you told me they end up winning the Big 12 this year, I would not be surprised.